Tonight, an OC Transpo bus makes an unexpected stop.
Something that happened with the disconnection of the vehicle, and currently MTO is working on what could have created that disconnect.
Slamming into the side of the train yard's farm boy after slipping off a tow truck. Fortunately, no one was hurt. A summer camp for kids with autism once again in jeopardy.
Disabilities just don't seem to be top of mind today for the support out there through the government. And we want to know why.
Children at Risk says they're facing a funding shortfall, and the Camp Kaleidoscope experience kids love and parents count on as respite cannot be properly staffed. And protesting the protesters.
This is faster than driving. This is faster than just going to the airport and catching a plane.
A new group called Go Alto says most Canadians are in favor of pushing forward with high-speed rail, and it's a vocal minority who are trying to stop the process. Good evening. We begin tonight with a dramatic scene east of downtown this afternoon. An OC Transpo bus detaching from a tow truck and careening into the side of a busy grocery store at train yards. CTV's Katie Griffin spent the afternoon at the scene and joins us live in studio. Katie.
Well, Patricia, no one was on the bus and no one was hurt. The Ministry of Transportation now involved in the investigation to determine how this happened. It all happened around 1 o'clock this afternoon at the Farm Boy store on Belfast Road. OC Transpo says the decommissioned bus was being towed to a maintenance facility when it came loose and made contact with the building. OC Transpo, police, fire, and MTO responded to the scene. Here's more from police.
The bus was being towed by an OC Transpo towing, and there was something that happened with the disconnection of the vehicle, and currently MTO is working on what could have created that disconnect.
Potential charges that could be laid under the Highway Traffic Act include having an insecure load. And Farm Boy says there was no structural damage to the building and the store was able to stay open. It says it's cooperating with the investigation. Patricia?
All right, CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight. Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, questions were raised at Queen's Park today over the construction timeline and costs of the new Ottawa Hospital Civic Campus. Ottawa South MVP John Fraser suggesting the final price tag could be billions over budget, and those ballooning costs could land in part on Ottawa taxpayers. CTV's Tyler Fleming reports.
Lee Boucher and sister-in-law Nicole regularly walk near Dow's Lake, watching the progress of the new Civic Campus Hospital.
We go to the Civic now. We got top-notch doctors and nurses. We'll be glad it's there. It's going to be awesome.
So far, the project consists of a nearly completed parking garage, while the hospital remains a hole in the ground, which Ottawa South MPP John Fraser says has no end in sight.
It's a decade in on this project since it's got its first funding.
At Queen's Park on Tuesday, Fraser raising concerns the timeline could go well into the 2030s after a comment made by a hospital consultant at a City of Ottawa committee last month. Fraser also suggesting the original near $3 billion price tag will skyrocket.
So we have a local share that's going to be approaching $1 billion from about $300 million. $1 billion now. So that's a lot on the residents of Ottawa.
Many residents not surprised.
I think we're used to it now, you know? We're just used to them screwing up and we're paying with the tax dollars.
The fact that it's not even past the design stage and into implementation is horrifying.
The Ontario Health Coalition calls the new campus a key healthcare facility and wants more action from the province to push its completion.
The hospitals are completely overwhelmed. They've got portables outside. They're using garages. Like, at what point do we say it's an emergency, all boots on the ground, fix the hospital system in Ottawa?
The Ottawa Hospital says the parking garage is expected to open this summer and that it is finalizing the design and construction timeline for the hospital, one which Boucher expects to be a world-class facility when its doors do open.
I might not be around when it's built.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
An Ottawa charity supporting kids and young adults with autism is sounding the alarm just weeks away from hosting its popular summer camp. Children at Risk says its funding through the federal government's summer jobs grant is being cut, putting Camp Kaleidoscope at risk. CTV's Austin Lee joins us now live in studio with the details on this. Austin.
Well, Patricia, Children at Risk has operated Camp Kaleidoscope in Ottawa since 2011, and what makes the camp unique is the promise of a one-to-one camper-to-counselor ratio, given the complex needs of those on the autism spectrum. But now, funding cuts mean the camp is forced to change the way it operates, and that has organizers worried. For parents of kids with autism, Camp Kaleidoscope is an annual highlight.
The support of the staff means that the kids keep their dignity as well.
Really, our entire schedule for our entire family revolves around camp starting and camp coming around again. So it's something that's been a pivot point for our family for the last 14 years now.
But now the future of the camp is at risk.
On April 14th, we received a decision from Canada Summer Jobs that we had a 50% cut in the number of jobs from last year, which was a 75% cut from the year before.
The federal government is shifting its focus for the Canada Summer Jobs program to support young workers in other sectors like trades and environmental protection. Those changes mean Children at Risk, the registered charity that runs the camp, is struggling.
We had no idea that on April 14th, when we had declared that we don't get any other funding, that we would be told that we only get 10 jobs, which is, we applied for 67.
The organization says it continues to advocate for more funding from the government to no avail. They've been able to make some sacrifices to add just one more job, bringing the number of camp counselors this year to 11. But
we provide a one-to-one support, counselor to child. So that way the child is safe, protected, even celebrated for their differences.
And for parents, the pressure the camp faces is devastating.
He'll ask things hundreds of times in a row. Camp Kaleidoscope, Camp Kaleidoscope. He'll stand in front of the calendar with his pen, waiting for me to put it on the calendar so he knows it'll happen. And I can't do that if I don't know the camp is going to run.
There's such a great need in the city and such a lack of services. It's really difficult to find safe environments for a child that lives with autism.
Children at Risk is holding out hope the federal government will change course.
Disabilities just don't seem to be top of mind today for the support out there through the government, and we want to know why.
In a statement late this afternoon, Employment and Social Development Canada says in part, quote, the Canada Summer Jobs program does not provide core funding to organizations, adding applications were assessed on an individual basis to ensure that employers, projects and job activities align with program objectives, meet the program eligibility criteria and represent quality work experiences for youth. Camp Kaleidoscope is set to run from July 6th till August 7th. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. Still ahead, born in the 1920s and celebrating today, an Ottawa woman marking her 103rd birthday. That story coming up. Well, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. It was a spectacular summer-like day today, 27 degrees out there right now. Very warm, lots of sunshine all day. Some winds that we're picking up in the afternoon as well. We'll continue to see those wind gusts over the next little bit. A few clouds moving in for the evening as well. Tomorrow we'll see increasing cloudiness during the day, but another nice temperature tomorrow, just not quite as warm. Sunshine for you on Thursday. So you will see 24 degrees this evening at 8 o'clock. You'll wake up to about 16 with that sunshine, still beautiful at noon, and then the clouds moving in the afternoon. 24 is the anticipated daytime high tomorrow. Right now in the capital, it's 27. We did have a humidex today, and all day it felt just a little bit warmer than where we were at. Right now feels like 28. Alto's high-speed rail between Ottawa and Montreal may be years away from rolling out, but there's a new group trying to gather steam for the project. Go Alto says a majority of Canadians are in favor of high-speed rail, while it is a vocal minority trying to put the brakes on construction. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us now, live with more. Dylan.
Patricia, delay at Ottawa's Via Station today captures exactly why Go Alto is endorsing high-speed rail. An afternoon train from Montreal scheduled to arrive at 2 p.m. was 45 minutes late, turning a 2-hour trip into a nearly 3-hour trip. On Alto's high-speed rail line, that ride would be completed in just about 1 hour.
Between Ottawa's LRT and Via Rail, David Bellerive wants a rail system that will get him where he wants to go.
Time we spend traveling right now, it's time we lose. And it's time we lose on things that we could spend with our family, doing work, or just enjoying life. And for me, that's why Alto matters a lot.
He's the voice behind Go Alto, a public campaign in support of the proposed high-speed rail project connecting Toronto to Ottawa and Quebec City.
Being able to do Ottawa-Toronto in 3 hours instead of 5, this is faster than driving. This is faster than just going to the airport and catching a plane for most people. And it is downtown to downtown.
The project is just getting started, with Alto holding information sessions and mailing letters to landowners for exploratory research, but being met with strong opposition from residents, communities, and some politicians. Go Alto says more Canadians are in favor of high-speed rail than against.
A recent survey by Probe Research shows that at least 61% of Canadians are in favor of the project.
Yeah, we should have more high-speed train everywhere.
If I had the option to take a high-speed rail to and from Toronto, Ottawa, I'd be happy to take that instead. Right now I'm using the bus and I find it convenient enough, but I would hope that in the future, if a high-speed rail was available, I'd definitely be taking that more often.
There are many factors yet to be decided, such as where the high-speed line would pass through in Ontario, where it will stop in Ottawa, and if it should be built alongside the 400 series highways.
Highways are a bit problematic because they look straight when we're driving on them, but can you picture yourself driving 300 kilometers on the highway? The curves don't allow for that, and it's the same problem for a train.
There will be people opposing because of, they have to expropriate, they have to do a lot of things. So I don't think we'll see it in 10 years' time, but it's a good idea that we start doing it.
Between Via Rail slowdowns and LRT breakdowns, Bellerive says this is a chance to get a rail project right before shovels go in the ground, and believes Go Alto can be a way for Canadians to get behind this ambitious project. Patricia.
CTV's Dylan Dyson live for us tonight. Thank you. You can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online, or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more stories on the proposed high-speed rail link between Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City. You can download the CTV News app right now. Just scan that QR code on your screen using your smartphone. Well, the Liberals are set to lose an MP on Parliament Hill. CTV News has learned former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault will resign. Guilbeault says he will tell the Liberal caucus about his decision tomorrow. The resignation is due to concerns over the Prime Minister's rollback of climate policies. Guilbeault served as Environment Minister from 2021 to 2025 under former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The federal government is introducing new border measures in place to prevent Ebola cases from spreading to Canada. The number of cases of Ebola continues to rise in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Uganda, and South Sudan. Starting this week, people traveling from the affected regions will have to self-isolate for 21 days, and Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada is also pausing final decisions on several immigration applications.
While the health risk to Canadians from Ebola remains low, we are putting forward a precautionary approach to ensure the safety and security of Canadians. The response we are putting in place is aligned with US and Mexico, because we said we were taking a regional approach, particularly in the context of FIFA.
Health officials insist the health risk to Canada is currently considered low, and no travel-related cases have been reported. Some much-needed help is on the way for communities battling wildfires this season.
To lease 10 additional wildfire-fighting aircraft that will support our provinces and our territories in their response, and that will be available beginning this wildfire season.
The 10 aircraft include air tankers and helicopters. They will be stationed across the country based on expected need. The government says it chose to lease the aircraft instead of buying so they could be used immediately. An Ottawa MPP wants to keep students cool in school as temperatures warm up this spring. NDP Shadow Minister for Education, Chandra Pasma, introduced a private member's bill called Fighting the Extreme Heat in Schools Act. It would ensure air conditioning in classrooms.
This bill, if passed, would set a maximum temperature in schools and school buses of 26 degrees Celsius. It would also require school boards to develop heat strategy plans that include the use of mechanical ventilation systems like heat pumps and air conditioning, adaptations to school buildings and schoolyards such as green roofs, energy-efficient windows and doors, planting trees and installing exterior blinds.
The NDP wants the province to invest in safe, modern classrooms. Last June, both the Ottawa Public and Catholic school boards said all schools have at least one area with partial or portable air conditioning. A bill that would allow misbehaving municipal politicians in Ontario to be fired is one step closer to becoming law. Bill 9, the Municipal Accountability Act, passed by a vote of 110 to 1 at Queen's Park.
Bill 9 is an important step in ensuring women and all municipal employees are protected in Ontario. We've been working on this for 6 years. As John mentioned, Ottawa was really ground zero for bringing this issue to light with the situation with Mr. Shirelli and his excessive abuses of employees in his office.
The bill would standardize codes of conduct for municipalities across Ontario, and it would give council the power to remove and disqualify councillors from office if they are found to be in serious violation. The legislation comes in response to the findings from the City of Ottawa's Integrity Commissioner that former councillor Rick Shirelli harassed and bullied female staff. A 29-year-old man is facing charges in connection with a series of thefts targeting retail stores, garages, and vehicles across Ottawa. Police say the arrest helped solve 40 different investigations. These thefts and break-ins happened between March and May of this year. The suspect is facing more than 100 charges, including theft under $5,000, break and enter, and fraudulent use of a credit card. Investigators believe total financial losses for victims and property owners exceeded $100,000. Police say the stolen items include electronics and tools, along with credit cards that were used to make fraudulent purchases. Smoke filled the sky in Ottawa's Dwyer Hill area this afternoon as a fire raged in a barn. Dozens of firefighters responded to multiple 911 calls early this afternoon for a fire at a farm on Franktown Road near Dwyer Hill Road. No animals or people were hurt in the fire. According to officials, high winds west fanned the flames as they tore through the heritage structure. It was fully engulfed in 30 minutes.
When you have a wind-driven fire, you have to be very aware of your surroundings. The fire conditions can change very quickly based on the gusts of wind, and you just have to combat it. That you're obviously in a position that if you have to evacuate or you have to move out of the way, you do so safely.
The cause of the fire remains under investigation. There's no estimate on the damage to the barn. 2 people were treated for minor injuries after a small plane crashed at the Carp Airport. Emergency crews responded to a call for an incident at the airport in Ottawa's West End around 6 o'clock last night. The Transportation Safety Board says a Cessna 150M lost engine power during a go-around. The aircraft landed on the grass and the nose wheel collapsed. The TSB says it will not deploy investigators to the crash. Ontario is investing $400,000 to help support victims and prevent crime in Ottawa. The province announcing today nearly $200,000 for Family Services Ottawa. The funding will help train youth peer educators to lead workshops focused on healthy relationships and intimate partner violence prevention. Ottawa Victim Services is receiving $199,000 for crisis counselors to provide on-site support to victims of intimate partner and family violence.
The opportunity to have a prevention initiative, for an early intervention initiative, is not something we often get to do when we're in this front line, kind of put out the fire, respond sector, and it's hugely important. It's very buoying for all of us to be able to have this opportunity.
Across Ontario, the province is allocating $5 million in cash and proceeds seized from criminals to help law enforcement agencies and community organizations strengthen public safety. A popular Chinese food restaurant in Ottawa's South End is closing at the end of June. The Ruby Inn says it made the decision to close with the lease coming to an end. In a post, the owners say the customers' loyalty has meant everything, and they thank the community for their support. The Ruby Inn, located on Bank Street at Walkley, first opened in 1971, and I alone consumed a whole lot of egg rolls from that lovely spot. The last day will be on June 28th.
I think if you're kind and good to others, it's a great help, and it makes you happy.
Coming up, a special tea to mark 103 years. We check out a birthday celebration. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Still a warm evening, a little bit windy out there, still humid as well, 27 degrees in the capital right now.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
with a laid-back vibe.
where foodies love their sweets
and markets bursting with flavor,
wrapped up in waterways
and hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future
meets the past.
Where people come together.
Always proud.
Often loud. Whee!
And positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
Taking a live look at the roads this hour. Not too bad there. The first couple of shots you saw, of course, pretty thick in some of the problem spots that we have continued to see over the last couple of weeks on that western portion of the Queensway. That's the main thing we're hearing about tonight, otherwise moving fairly well. Well, a very important birthday celebration took place today for one remarkable woman celebrating a milestone few ever reach. Friends and family gathering to honor Margaret Hope, who turned 103. CTV's Leah Rock was there.
Happy birthday to you. A familiar melody that Margaret Hope has had sung just for her more than 100 times.
I'm 103. I feel about 45.
She's the guest of honor at this tea party at Waterford Retirement Home.
Our love for Margaret is great, though she tends to exaggerate.
Hope came to Canada from England when she was in her 20s.
I came alone and I was a bit scared when I got here.
Losing her first husband, Alfred, when he was in his 50s. Together, they raised 2 children.
She was just a real example all our lives of all the things that we all aspire to be and should aspire to be.
Finding love again with John, who lived till his 90s. Her memories as vivid as ever. Dark ones, like the Second World War.
That was me in Trafalgar Square, feeding the pigeons during the war. My brother took this picture in his pocket. He was a soldier, and he had it in his pocket for the whole of the war. He did. He made it.
But bright ones, too, like her love of sewing.
My mother was a court dressmaker in England. And so I took up sewing.
She still has her original sewing machine.
Margaret continues to sew and knit. She even holds knitting classes right here. And the quilts that she makes, she donates at the end of the year to places like Chio.
We're celebrating this because she's a pure treasure here at the Waterford.
I've never known anybody more positive about life. I always grew up saying, I want to be just like you when I grow up.
It is often asked, what is the secret to living such a full life? For Margaret Hope, it's simple.
I think if you're kind and good to others, it's a great help.
Leah LaRock, CTV News.
What a lovely woman. Happy birthday to you. Well, Ottawa residents received an early taste of summer weather today. Very warm. As we take a look at the Rideau River in historic Smiths Falls on this beautiful sunny day. The temperatures are expected to stay pleasant all week, although today the warmest day of the week. As we take a full look, a little bit of cloud out there, not a whole lot, and just a very slight chance of precipitation. It'll increase into tomorrow evening as we have another sunny day on the way in Ottawa, but the temperature will not get quite as high as what we saw today. Certainly not high in St. John's, where they are seeing a 3-degree day. No early summer there. 9 in Charlottetown, 16 in Halifax. It does get warmer as you move a little bit further west in Quebec and Ontario, seeing some really nice temperatures. Toronto, similar to us, 26 degrees in the sunshine today, 25 in Windsor, and hotter still as we get further out west. Regina, one of the hot spots today, 32 degrees with lots of sunshine, 27 in Edmonton. A cooler day in Vancouver at 16 degrees. Not too bad up in Yellowknife. They're getting there, 11 degrees the temperature today. So look at these lows tonight. It's not going to get terribly cool. In terms of sleeping and whatnot, 13 degrees in Kingston and Trenton along the Seaway, 10 degrees in Bancroft, so a little cooler there, 14 for much of our region, 12 degrees to the north of us, and in Petawawa. Gatineau will also see 12, Kemptville 14 degrees, and a little warmer to the east in Montreal. So here is your day tomorrow, another beautiful one on the way. We'll see some cloud later in the day here in Ottawa, but a lot of sunshine early and 24 degrees. More sunshine along the Seaway, Brockville, Kingston, and Trenton, all anticipating a 25-degree day tomorrow. Cornwall will get that as well. A little cooler to the west and up north in Maniwaki, looking at 21 degrees. Same in Petawawa. Kemptville will see 24, as will Montreal tomorrow. Your 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centre, celebrating over 80 years in family business. All right, so 24 tomorrow with those clouds moving in, a slight chance of showers in the evening. Another good-looking day on Thursday, a little cooler for people who find 22 degrees perfect and pleasant. We do have a chance of showers on Friday and 20 degrees. Down into the teens on Saturday with a chance of showers, but back to 20 on Sunday and slightly warmer temperatures again next week. Well, coming up, a big lineup has been announced for the Festival of Small Halls happening this fall.
Tonight, a prominent Liberal MP is calling it quits.
I'm a good friend of Stephen. I've worked a lot to bring him in politics.
What's fueling Stephen Guilbeault's decision to depart the federal government? Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and track it all with the help of your phone. Researchers at the University of Guelph are looking to do just that using a tiny Bluetooth device. CTV's Alexandra Hokie reports.
She's flying like that. Now she's saying hello to you.
Blink and you just might miss it. A tiny bumblebee wearing an even tinier tracking device.
The project is called Bluetooth for Bees. We are radio tracking bumblebee queens.
The project is run by researchers at the University of Guelph. Trackers were glued onto 50 bumblebees, 30 found in the wild and 20 raised in captivity, to monitor their behavior and flight patterns.
We're hoping to see some patterns of behavior and see if it's different between wild and captive ones.
The tracker is lightweight and doesn't impact the bee's ability to fly. It's powered by a small solar panel and transmits signals using a Bluetooth connection.
The tag works like an air tag, so only with iPhones, sadly, right now, but eventually maybe with all phones.
Here's where you come in. When you visit the Arboretum, take out your iPhone and turn on your Bluetooth. That's it. The busy bees and the researchers at the University of Guelph will take care of the rest.
We're not using any of your data or privacy, but we basically get another way of collecting data about where these tagged bees are.
I think this first one here is actually a bee in the field behind me, so you can see the detection is like signal strength is lower because she's somewhere in the field flying around.
Graduate student Marianne Goulet is taking the tracker for a test run. She plans to use it for her master's project on monarch butterflies in the fall.
We're going to track them while they migrate and see how they orient, if they can reach Mexico, and yeah, it's going to be cool.
In the meantime, researchers say the work they're doing now will hopefully help conservation efforts in the future.
We really need to understand why they're declining and do things the best we can to support them. And this work, understanding how bees move and how much they move between generations, is really important to understand how population demography works for these bees.
Those who want to chip in and help out with the project can visit the Guelph Arboretum anytime between now and July. After that, researchers say the tagged queens will burrow underground, so you better make a beeline for it. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Guelph.
Well, in tonight's big picture, while Ottawa motorists deal with construction delays on Highway 417, drivers in Mississippi had to contend with an alligator hazard. This alligator was spotted sitting in the turn lane on a major thoroughfare, blocking traffic. Officers with the Flowood Police Department cleared the road by using a police SUV to drag the gator off the road. Now, some other stories you need to know right now. It was a tough loss for the Montreal Canadiens in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Looking to center, passing it across Jarvis, back to Svechnikov, scores! Evgeny Svechnikov has won it in overtime.
Andrei Svechnikov scored the winner in the extra period as the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Habs 3-2. Carolina now leads this series 2-1. Game 4 in the best-of-7 series set for tomorrow at the Bell Centre in Montreal. The Gatineau Bakery is getting into the spirit to support the Montreal Canadiens. Maison Odo on St. Raymond Boulevard in Gatineau is branding some of its breads with the Montreal Canadiens logo. It's their way of cheering on the team and encouraging the Canadiens on their quest for the Stanley Cup. The loaves have been popular and selling out daily.
Alfonso will be here on the 31st in Edmonton. So we spoke with Byron and thought that the best thing for him was to continue his initial recovery treatment.
Canadian head coach Jesse Marsh says he is confident star Alphonso Davies will play in next month's World Cup. Davies suffered a hamstring injury 3 weeks ago during a game, but Marsh doesn't expect Davies to be ready for the club's opening match on June 12th. At the time of the injury, we were told the initial timeline for when he could hit the turf was 4 to 5 weeks. Well, travelers are being advised to give themselves extra time to get to the Ottawa airport over the next 2 days. The city and police are warning of possible traffic disruptions on Hunt Club Road and the Airport Parkway due to the CanSec trade show at Cohere Centre. If you are heading to the airport, the city encourages you to use O-Train Line 4. The lineup has been unveiled for Festival Parasol at the Hotel Casino Lac Limy. The opening night includes Phil Lozon and Tanea Taylor. Other performers include Queenie, Mike Clay, Goodfella, and Caraba. Festival Parasol runs from July 16th to 26th. Royal Wood will be one of the performers for the Ontario Festival of Small Halls. The festival announced the lineup for the concerts across Eastern Ontario in October, November, and December. Other performers include Ashley McIsaac, Sue Foley, the Maywoods, and Joel Plaskett. Full details available at OntarioSmallHalls.com.
So I said, oh, just a minute. I don't think it's working. So I tried it, and it's exactly the way it was before he came in.
Coming up, an oven repair bill ends up costing more than the appliance itself.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
It can be frustrating if you have an appliance breakdown, and it seems with some models they don't make them like they used to. If you need to have something repaired, the cost can escalate quickly, especially if the problem is not diagnosed properly the first time. CTV's Pat Foran reports.
It's not working. No heat whatsoever.
Louise Renwick of Markham says in early May her 4-year-old oven quit working. She called Samsung but then decided to go with what she thought was a local repair company. A technician came to her home and charged her almost $800 to change a temperature sensor, but the oven still wouldn't turn on.
So I said, oh, just a minute. I don't think it's working. So I tried it, and it's exactly the way it was before he came in.
She was then told it was the oven's main board that needed replacing. They offered a 10% discount on the part, but with taxes and labor, repairs would be more than what she paid for the stove in the first place.
They won't come back unless I agree to pay another $700-800 on top of the $800 I've already given them.
She hired the A-Team Appliance Repair, which was the first company to pop up in a Google search. On the invoice, it says A-Team Appliance Repair works out of this building in Markham, but the security guard said they left 5 months ago. Our emails to the company were not returned. When we called them, they hung up.
Thank you for calling Appliance Repair Team.
Hello, Lisa speaking. How may I help you today?
Hi, it's Pat Foran calling from CTV News. We're just trying to speak to someone about a complaint. Hello?
That is a very high number of complaints.
The Better Business Bureau says in the past 3 years, there have been 732 complaints filed against the company, and they've been given an F, the Bureau's lowest rating. There's a pattern of complaints.
Consumers are alleging that the company is unable to properly diagnose and repair the appliances effectively, and the cost of repairs are grossly inflated.
The BBB suggests checking its website for reviews, calling a manufacturer directly, and to realize some companies pay Google to be the first to pop up in online searches. As for Renwick, she's putting her money towards a new stove, not more repairs.
I can buy a new one for $1,200 that's better than this stove.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
We have a look now at how in-debt Canadians were at the start of the year, courtesy of credit reporting company Equifax. BNN Bloomberg's Morella Fernandez has more.
Equifax puts total consumer debt at about $2.7 trillion. That's up almost 4% from last year. Insolvencies are up almost 19% in the first quarter of the year compared to the same quarter in 2025. They are at a level not seen since 2009, but there are some positive trends. Fewer new credit cards are being printed, a sign consumers are spending less and saving more. And the number of Canadians missing at least one credit payment is stable at 1 in every 21 consumers. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 72.40. West Texas Intermediate down to 93.89. Western Canadian Select is unchanged at 78.22. And the TSX lost 177 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Almost everything that we hear from them is the high costs of food, gas, rent.
Coming up, aiming to turn surplus food into meals for Canadians.
Hey. CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
Iron deficiency affects more than 10% of the population in Canada, and while iron supplements have typically been hard to take, newer treatments are available. CTV's Pauline Chan reports.
Francine Joseph says she was always tired and cold.
Anyone who knows me knows that I have a scarf around me in the office or even walking, even in summertime. So that was one of the symptoms as well.
But then after the birth of her daughter and 2 separate car accidents, her symptoms intensified in 2017.
I was getting constant migraines, feeling super dehydrated, super weak. So my doctor, she ordered me more tests. And then at that point, we realized it's actually iron deficient.
Iron deficiency is one of the most common causes of anemia. And certainly as a primary care physician is something I deal with multiple times a day. Females who menstruate are typically, struggling with anemia.
In fact, 40% of menstruating women suffer from low iron, and it's not just women.
Crohn's and colitis, dietary changes, there's a whole slew of other medical conditions that can cause your iron to be low.
Dr. Christine Palme says low iron can cause fatigue, memory, and concentration problems.
Long-term consequences are cardiovascular complications. You can develop skin changes, nail changes, hair loss, things like that. So much more common than one would think, and certainly something that is primary care we often miss.
Adding iron-rich foods to your diet is a first step.
Step 2 is pharmacological treatment, and there's many things that are available over the counter. And in some cases they work, but they also come with side effects. Many patients can't tolerate the gastrointestinal side effects related to the medications.
But Francine is on a new medication. Acrufer is the only oral iron therapy prescription approved in Canada. She takes that twice a day, and 4 times a year she goes in for iron transfusions. Dr. Palme calls Acrufer a game changer for patients who had severe side effects before.
Point being, patients have a wide variety of options, and just because one fails, go back, try another one.
And for Francine, it's allowing her to enjoy life like never before. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Across Canada, many people don't know where their next meal is coming from. At the same time, millions of tons of food goes to waste every year. A national campaign launched today is trying to close that gap with a celebrity-backed fundraising push. CTV's Maria Saru reports.
Carts roll through this food bank as staff fill boxes with pantry staples some islanders are struggling to afford.
Almost everything that we hear from them is the high costs of food, gas, rent.
The executive director of Food Bank's PEI, Mike McDonald, says the province's network sees more than 5,000 visits every month, and almost 35% of people walking through the doors are employed.
They have jobs, are hardworking islanders, and just aren't making enough to get by.
While food insecurity has eased from its peak, 1 in 4 islanders are still affected, roughly in line with the national rate. It's what inspired the East Pointers to join a cross-country fundraiser this week.
It feels really like an urgent thing to step up to and try to help out. 1 in 4 people, that's our neighbors, that's everyone around us.
It's tricky to make ends meet for a lot of people today.
Organized by the charity Second Harvest, the campaign is called Race to Rescue. The goal is to turn surplus food into 1 million meals over 100 hours. The band is part of a star-studded roster of ambassadors driving donations, including retired astronaut Chris Hadfield, singer Shania Twain, chef Maddie Matheson, and dozens more.
We're not just going to hit that goal. We're going to blow that goal right out of the water. I have every confidence.
The campaign runs until Friday, and when I last checked, it was more than a third of the way to its fundraising target. Ria Saru, CTV News.
Well, coming up, a false start for the national anthem ahead of Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final in Montreal. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. A warm evening out there. It is 27 degrees. Feels slightly warmer than that after we got up to 29 today. We'll have more sunshine on the way tomorrow. We'll wrap up your forecast in just a moment.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford. Find your wild. More Bronco sports, more ways to roam this summer.
Tomorrow in Your Morning Ottawa, our tour of Orleans continues as we pay a visit to Gutsy's on St. Joseph Boulevard. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, and the CTV movie Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
The bus was being towed by an OC Transpo towing, and there was something that happened with the disconnection of the vehicle.
Bit of a wild scene near Ottawa train yards today. A OC Transpo bus detached from a tow truck and rolled into the side of a farm boy. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
So we have a local share that's going to be approaching $1 billion from about $300 million. $1 billion now. So that's a lot on the residents of Ottawa.
Questions being raised at Queen's Park today over the timeline and possible ballooning costs of the new Ottawa Hospital Civic Campus. And the Liberals are about to lose a member of the caucus. CTV News has learned former Federal Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault will resign as a member of Parliament tomorrow. Final check on the forecast now. We have another good-looking day on the way tomorrow. You're going to wake up to 16 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Bit of a breeze out of the north. 24 will be the high. We'll see more cloud cover into the afternoon. Slight chance of showers in the evening. Thursday looks good. 22 in the sunshine. Friday, 20 with a chance of showers. A little cooler on the weekend and maybe some shower activity on Saturday. Overcast skies for Sunday. Well, time now to check in to see what our news team will be working on tonight. Steph Keys will be back on the desk at 11:30. Steph?
That's right, Patricia. Tonight, we bring you a story every homeowner in Ontario needs to be aware of in order to protect themselves from something that was eliminated in this province years ago. CTV News has learned that dozens of residents in their senior years are saying they've been forced to pay big bucks for shoddy renovations, and that's because of a financial instrument that shouldn't even exist anymore. It used to be that logements, liens, meant a financing company could place one on your home so that you couldn't sell your house unless you paid up with interest. Ontario seniors are finding out the hard way about this, and we'll explain more tonight at 11:30, Patricia.
All right. Sounds like an important story. Steph.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Finally for us tonight, there was a false start to the national anthem during last night's hockey game in Montreal.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
So the microphone, as you saw, malfunctioned right before the singing of the U.S. national anthem. A very similar scenario to earlier in the playoffs when fans in Buffalo had to support the singing of O Canada when a microphone cut out there. A lot of people were impressed that all those Buffalo fans knew all the words of O Canada, but of course, just across the border, a lot of Canadian fans there as well, and they, you know, kind of support both. And so the same thing happening in Montreal last night.
I mean, when you share Niagara, you got
That's right.
both.
We get the better view.
That's true.
The Canadian side.
Hands down.
Unfortunately, that was the beginning of the game. The end of the game, not so great in Montreal. Another overtime loss for the Habs.
So
they got to split the series tomorrow, get back in it at
We
home
can do it.
Make that building super loud. It's Montreal now, is it?
Well,
Canada's team.
Canada's team.
Yeah, there you go.
Go Canada, go. Canadian anthem all the way.
100%. Have a great evening, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow.